Hello everyone, Equipment War here, and in this video I'm going to try out the Ancestral Call on my Wield Duelist. So many people have asked me if it works, so I'm gonna give it a try, and I'm gonna do it in this Covos map, tier level map. It's not a high level map, but it's something. It's what I had lying around in standard. And I'm going to compare it to both Melee Splash and Mighty Influence. So let's get started by comparing it to Melee Splash. But keep in mind that this Melee Splash here is a level 19 and this is only a level 10. So keep that in mind, it's not an entirely fair comparison, but I'm gonna do the comparison anyway. So let's do it with Melee Splash, then we move out to using Ancestral Call. As you can see, Melee Splash hits all nearby enemies and it do a lot of damage to them. And I definitely like this skill game, and I highly recommend using Melee Splash. But we are going to try out the Ancestral Call. Let's try out the Ancestral Call on this essence enemy here to start with. So let's first get rid of these normal enemies here and take our Ancestral Call and use it. Ancestral Call supposedly hits the two nearby target enemies. So let's try this out. Actually, let's activate that buff. This enemy is going to have a lot of health because it have a lot of essence on it, so it do a lot of damage. But I wanna say right now, Ancestral Call do a really good job. I can't say anything else. They do a lot of damage, and I can actually definitely recommend using Ancestral Call. I think I still would prefer Melee Splash, but this is absolutely a good alternative. So if you want to use Ancestral Call, you can do it. It works really well, as you can see. But I still think Melee Splash is faster. So when we have killed some more enemies here, let's compare it to what I'm usually using on the Dual Strike, which is Mighty Influence. So let's put Mighty Influence on our skill tree. And by the way, if you are playing this build, you must have your Mighty Influence in this area. You can't have it anywhere else. It must be in this area because you have one dexterity node here, one here, one here, and one here. And you don't need to allocate them for this one to work. You just need to be in the radius. And this is the only place in the skill tree in this character which I have that amount of dexterity. But back to the point now. So this one will make so your offhand weapon will splash damage to surrounding enemies like Melee Splash, and your main hand weapon will have 20% chance to deal double damage with my main hand weapon. So this is what I usually use on this build. And as you can see, it do a lot of damage, almost like Melee Splash, but I think Melee Splash have a little bit more damage to the surrounding enemies. And by the way, one interesting thing, you can use Ancestral Call together with this one. But let's use without Ancestral Call. I actually forgot to unequip it. As you can see, it do a lot of damage. And I actually mostly recommending Mighty Influence if you're using Dual Strike. But remember, Mighty Influence only works for Dual Strike, just so all of you know that. But let's... and by the way, you can... now I don't have another Dual Socket here, but you can have an additional Dual Socket if you're using Mighty Influence. But you can use whatever you want actually, but as I said, right now Mighty Influence is better because you can use another support gem to do even more damage, and you have a chance to double your main hand damage. So that's a powerful thing. But let's find the boss here, and just for fun I'm going to use against the boss, I'm going to use Ancestral Call. I have no reason to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway for the video. And I need to be leader. Oh, there we have the boss. Well, I'm not gonna want to fight the boss yet, because I want to get rid of these enemies first. And the boss is coming after me. Let's go to a safe place. I don't need to fight the boss, so I can change my skill again. So let's put my Ancestral Call again. And let's take away my Mighty Influence. But keep in mind, you can use Mighty Influence and Ancestral Call at the same time. You can probably use Melee Splash as well. Your main attack do less damage when you're using Ancestral Call. And here we have the boss, by the way. So let's see if we can kill this guy. Oh dear, we have another boss here. Yeah, just remember the Covos map have two bosses at the same time. And yeah, they're going down quite fast. They have extra life here, so that's one reason why they're not dying that fast. But oh, that hurts. That hurt a little bit actually. I'm doing less single target damage now, so if I want to do even more damage, I should probably use melee splash if I'm gonna have a splash cam active. But Mighty Influence would do even more damage to this guy. But anyway, Mighty Influence works, and I can definitely recommending it. So if you want to use it, it works pretty well, I want to say. So yeah, I like it. It's probably it have its uses. But anyway, I hope you guys like this video, and I'm not saying anything bad against Ancestral Call. It's a good skill gem and support gem, so I definitely recommend using it. Anyway, I hope you guys like this short little video here, and I'll see you guys next time. And thanks.